Be our memory must be swift as a coursing river, with all the force of a great typhoon, with all the strength of raging fire, mysterious as the dark side of the moon. Once upon a time, me and 3 of my siblings, because I have 7 of them, were gallivanting through the forest, and one of them, the next one, was intent on climbing up and down every single rock formation in sight, and there were a lot of them. After about the second time, I realized that he not only wanted to go up them, but he also wanted to go back down them. Or vice versa, depending on whether we were going, whatever. You get what I mean. So after this, I was like, dude, I'm not doing this anymore. And so by the third one, I think my other brother was, or one of my other brothers, was tired of this. And so he started trying to find an easier way to do it too. And when he found it, I was like, dude, I'm totally following him because it's easier. Plus, it was easier because I was wearing a skirt because I'm a nerd like that. I told Ben, who was the one who was doing the up, down, all around, harder stuff, and I told him, I'm going to go following Ray, who was the one who found a easier way, because it's totally easier. And then he came up with this awesome comeback like he always does. He said, well, you can do that, but when it comes to be harder, you can deal with your problems. I was like, oh, snap. And that, as you can probably guess, was not my finest moment. But also got me thinking, like those his retorts normally do, because he's really smart like that. He won't admit it, but he is. And started thinking, how often am I like that in the spiritual life and in life in general, to be honest? How many times do I want to take the easier path without thinking of the consequences that, hey, this is preparing me for the harder stuff ahead. If I don't accept the crosses the Lord gives me now, will I or am I prepared for the stuff that happens later in life? Because he sends those crosses for a reason. But I think a lot of the times the reason we don't want the crosses that the Lord sends us, because I know I struggle with this all the time, is for 3 main reasons. One is that we don't remember that He's with us and He's going to get us through this. Our God is not the type of God who, okay, He says, oh, I created you. Bye, see you in heaven. Have a good time on life figuring it all out. No, He stays with us and is with us. Let me read you this poem. One night I dreamed a dream. I was walking along the beach with my Lord. Across the dark night sky flashed scenes from my life. For each scene I noticed 2 sets of footprints in the sand. One belonged to me and one to my Lord. When the last scene of my life shot before me, I looked at the footprint in the sand. There was only 1 set of footprints. I realized that this was at the lowest and saddest times in my life. This always bothered me, and I questioned the Lord about my dilemma. Lord, you told me that when I decided to follow you, you would walk and talk with me all the way. But I'm aware that during the most troublesome times of my life, there was only 1 set of footprints. I just don't understand why, when I needed you most, you leave me. He whispered, my precious child, I love you and will never ever leave you. During your trials and testings, when you see only 1 set of footprints, it was then that I carried you. So yeah, it basically sums up what my first point is. The second point is that God does not give us what we can't handle. If He sends you a trial, it's because He knows that you are ready for it. It does not mean you shortcut the test because, oh God, since I'm not ready, you're not going to handle it. Don't shortcut tests. It's like any grade. If you, from one grade to the next, first grade prepares you for second grade, second for third. And the last one's a compliment. It's God gives His hardest trials to His strongest warriors. Mother Teresa said, if you're suffering, it's because you've gotten so close to God that He can kiss you from the cross. So yeah, crosses are compliments from God. It's God saying, I know you can handle this. So when you're struggling with the cross, remember those 3 things, and also pray for strength, that God's always with you. And your cross is perfect for you. There's a story of a guy who was complaining to God about his cross. Because he's like, God, I don't want to carry this cross. Why do you give this to me? This is awful cross for me. So God says, okay, you can choose your cross. I will let you choose your cross because you need your cross to get to heaven. So the guy's like, great, thank you. I will gladly choose the cross. So God sends the guy into the warehouse where all the crosses that he made are. And there are crosses 100 feet tall. There are crosses made of gold. They're made of wood. They're made of stone. So there's all these different crosses, and the guy goes through. He's like, not this one, not this one. These aren't gonna work. He keeps going through. No, not this one. he finally gets to the end, and there's this cross, and he's like, he just knows immediately. He's like, this is the cross, God. And God says, good choice. That is the same cross you've been carrying for the past 10 years of your life. That's just to prove that, God knows what he's doing. And one last thing. Try to suffer with a smile. I know it's hard. I've been through the exact same thing. But seriously, it helps. Because whether you want to admit it or not, life is easier with a smile. Come on, you know it's true. And if you don't think it's possible to suffer with a smile, look up Blessed Chiara Luce. And don't think, oh, she's a blessed. I could never, ever be like her. Stop. She died in 1990 at the age of 18 from bone cancer. She was a normal teenager. She's a blessed because she smiled and offered every hurt to God. I know it's hard, I struggle with it every day, but a saint is a sinner who keeps on trying, so don't give up. God is with you. Be a warrior.